This is the question. So I was thinking about it. I didn't have much time since the article from Dave came out just last month. Like how to drop all assumptions about what we have currently in threat modeling and try to redesign it to consume some knowledge that we already have from Wordly mapping. So I asked myself the question, like, what does threat modeling bring to the table? And what we have is representation, so a list of components, usually a diagram, and we add, during the threat modeling session, we add information, information about threat actors, about the threats themselves. Sometimes we add trust boundaries, and in some threat modeling methodologies, we add attack vectors. So we have this representation to get an understanding of the whole security situation. And then for each of those elements in the threat information, we usually add some action, some recommendation. So if it is a threat actor, we try to block this threat actor, right? If it's a threat, we try to mitigate it or avoid it. If it is a trust boundary, maybe if we do something about it, this will be probably moving the trust boundary or moving other elements out of or in the trust boundary. If it is an attack vector, again, mitigate. So here comes another question, how to marry threat modeling with Wordly mapping. So what we have in the current threat modeling toolset, this is this thread information that we add to the existing UML diagrams of the systems. What we just need to add more are the axes to make it a map, right? Just as in standard Wordly mapping scenario. The question is how we design the axes. So in the current view, we have the system. We have a diagram. This is without the axis now. We have a standard diagram, UML one. We log in some threats. Let's say spoofing the information, tampering the information between the user and the API in a man-in-the-middle attack. So here is the story is that the user has a web application frontend to consume. It allows the user to send requests to the API. The API is hosted at server, and the server connects to the database, right? And the developer pushes new versions of the application to the server. So then we can have a man in the middle there. We can also have some issues in the API, access control issue, right? Standard stuff. So then the next step that we do after the threat modeling session, we try to come up with some actions. What can we do about those threats? And then we log in, for example, change the SSL configuration or make sure that it follows our SSL security guideline, right? We can design some test cases for the access control issues in the API or some control mechanisms. So the question is, if we introduce